open, living for the night like it is golden. Yeah, I came knowing I'm never folding. I just wanna dance among the stars. These after hours got me charged and open, living for the night like it is golden. Yeah, I came knowing I'm never folding. I just wanna dance among the stars. These after hours got me charged and I just wanna dance among the stars. I just wanna dance among the stars. I just wanna dance among the stars. These after hours got me charged.
All right, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back in to the Locked In Podcast, or should I say lock back into the Locked In Podcast. We're here with episode 153. 153 after 1 week off, and 2 weeks since the last episode. Want to welcome back in George. George wasn't with us for the last episode, so George, welcome back in.
Yo,
What's up?
I'm back.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah. We had some time last week that we had to take. We had guest rescheduling and stuff like that. So decided to use it for a meeting and stuff like that. Here we are, 153, back in the sports realm. I do want to give a shout out to past guests Candace Scott and Corey Bridges for coming on and talking about mental health 2 weeks ago. That was a very important episode. Got a lot of traction with that one too. So I really, really appreciate both of them coming in here. Candace has been on multiple times. Yeah, and that was Corey's first podcast. So, thank you guys. We're back in the sports realm a little sooner than we like to be, but the Philadelphia Eagles. What we're going to be talking about is what a difference 2 weeks makes. 2 weeks make. Not even. It's been not even 2 weeks. But when I was on this mental health episode 2 weeks ago, the Eagles were actually 10-1. Now they're 10-3. And not only were the last two losses that our Philadelphia Eagles lost, they weren't just two losses. They were two blowout losses to two teams you're fighting with in the NFC. So there's a lot of thoughts that we have tonight. We are going to be joined by special guest Rich Mitchell, and Mario Raffaelli may be a guest as well. So Rich will definitely be on, Mario possibly. We'll try to run this to about 7:30, and we'll just let you know our thoughts. Probably going to be some venting here. So, guys, anybody out there who wants to comment in, voice your frustrations, whatever, if you have some
opinions.
positivity at all, shoot it in here and we'll throw it up on the screen, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook right now.
Right back to it.
Yeah, back in the sports realm. Just want to tell you guys, if you're watching, if you're watching on YouTube, guys, you know what it is. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Subscribe. Hit that subscribe button because we release content every single week. You don't want to miss it. You also want to hit that notification bell as well, because if you subscribe to the channel and you don't hit the notification bell, it's not going to notify you when we got new episodes going live. And even though they're weekly, everybody tends to get busy, so you might just need that little bit of reminder. So subscribe to the notification bell. It'll tell you when we have our content. Also, if you like what we're doing here, hit the like button. Of course, helps us out a big deal. Helps out with the algorithm. If you're watching on Facebook, I'm assuming because the group, well, at least one of them is private, you wouldn't be in the group. You wouldn't see the content if you weren't already a member. So thank you for joining. But I do want to say, hit that like button. Helps us out. And guys, comment your feedback tonight, as we already stated. Positive, negative, whatever it is. Vent your frustrations. Throw them up on the screen.
Express yourself.
Exactly. We'll throw it on the screen. We'll address it. We'll have a conversation here. That's what this platform is for. And number 3, guys, happy holidays. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the pod. What do we always used to say? We used to say it's 2022, be true and be you, but now it's 2023. It's almost 2024. 2023, and the key is to be free, mentally free, financially free in 2023.
Spiritually.
And positivity, executing on goals, and more in 2024, because where it's coming up, guys. Oh, man. The Philadelphia Eagles, where did we begin? We got 4 games left on the schedule. 3 of them are kind of cupcakes. You don't ever want to look past the team. But I will say 3 are cupcakes. We got a tough one, though, coming up this week in Seattle on Monday Night Football. It was a flex game. Boy, oh boy, a lot of people are not too confident in the Eagles right now, especially going into the Seattle game.
Yeah.
If they lose 3 straight,
that could be terrible.
It's going to be bad. We'll just dive right into this right.
Tough team, I mean.
Yeah, we'll dive into this right now. I'm going to keep it real right now. If the Eagles lose to Seattle, and I don't care how they lose, but if they have a blowout loss or just regular loss, this is not going to be good for this team at all. I technically do not think they're dead in the water yet. I think that they played 2 teams that had 10 days rest. Each team, the Cowboys had 10 days rest. The Niners had 10 days rest. The schedule was tough, part of the gauntlet. You have one more game on the gauntlet left. I think this is a must-win for the Philadelphia Eagles. I really do. If you went out, no matter what Dallas does, you still win the division. Still win the division. However, now you need some help to get the number 1 seed. You have to win out, and you need San Francisco to lose a game. I don't see San Francisco losing any games except maybe the Ravens on Christmas Day. You have to hope the Ravens can beat them. But we might just have to face that reality that we're not getting the number 1 seed now after 2 straight losses.
Yeah. No, they looked at everything because we actually at one point, but then the loss was connected with it.
Yeah, San Fran looks great right now. I'm not even going to lie. Yeah, I'm not even going to lie. The Eagles don't look as good as San Fran right now. They don't. However, I don't want you guys to fret. It doesn't mean it's over for our Birds. I heard something, and I don't know how true this is, so don't quote me. I am not inside the Eagles locker room. There was an insider on another podcast that was saying that the Eagles are holding a lot of their plays for the playoffs because they don't want to show their hand too early. Now, that could be a cop-out excuse for 2 bad losses. I don't know how true that is. It gives you some hope, but I also think the scheme is not working on the defense at all. It's fucking horrible. And the play calling on the offense is very suspect. A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, a lot of the players on the offense are frustrated from what we're hearing inside. And that's obvious. I mean, just look, you can tell the body language on the field. Jalen Hurts shaking his head on the sideline. They look upset and pissed.
Yeah, he did not seem happy.
No, and you don't really see that type of body language ever from Jalen. But, man, I was hearing insiders, too, that they were going to fire one of the coordinators this week. Now, some people are saying, after 2 straight losses, that's a little extreme. Yeah, but I really wouldn't have seen it as too extreme because this is a team that doesn't just have playoff aspirations. This is a team that has Super Bowl aspirations. We were in it last year, and we're trying to win it this year. And I'm going to be honest, if the Eagles went into the playoffs today, I would not be confident in them going back to the Super Bowl, especially what I saw against San Francisco and Dallas. If I'm being quite honest right now, I think that we could beat Dallas. In Philly, Dallas doesn't play well on the road. Yes, they beat us by 20 last week in their own building. 15 straight or 16 straight at home they've won. But if they had to come to Philly in the playoffs, I am confident that Dallas will choke as usual. It's usual Dallas fashion. I know they look good right now, but there is just always something when Dallas looks good. They have to prove it to me, and they haven't ever done that in my lifetime. They always lose in no later in the second round. So I'm confident there. Yeah, who I'm not confident against is San Francisco. The 49ers look like the most complete team in football, and I think that they could honestly take out anybody in the AFC right now. I think that they're Super Bowl favorites right now, Vegas betting lines, for a reason. They look like the most complete team in football. The Eagles have time to get this together, though. You got 4 more games left. That's 4 weeks. If you do somehow secure, you win out and San Fran loses a game, you secure the number 1 bye. You got 5 weeks till essentially you play your first game. They have time, a month, to clear this up. You have to shake things up. The play calling has to get better. It has to get better. Has to get more creative. The defense, the scheme has to change. It can't. They haven't played man coverage hardly at all this year. Oh man, I don't know if you have any thoughts, man, but it's just.
I do.
It's crazy.
I don't want to cut you off, but I'll give
problem.
you again in a second. So now I want to ask you, right? How do you feel about our defense a little bit, and do you feel like we're covering enough, like we're basically covering the quarterback as you should? Also, what about the blitzing? Do you feel like we're blitzing enough? Because remember there was a knock a few weeks ago, and also like when we talked about like not the last one about the Eagles, or it might have been the last one. I bet you like September we had an episode, and obviously at that point we're doing good, but if you remember correctly, there was actually one the knock, and I think was it you or me? One of us said San Fran might beat us. I forgot who it was, and we're like we kind of called it going to be the Chiefs, and that was a good game. Let's be clear on this and give us our credit. With all due respect, I kind of do. We haven't looked good in the last like 2 games, but we beat the Chiefs. We also were considered like an elite team because, okay, we lost to the Cowboys, right? People are saying, Cowboys saying, bring that ass here. We had beat the Cowboys, but because we beat them and we had just kind of lost one game out of nowhere, it was a blowout, so it gave the Cowboys confidence, right? But again, we lost to the Cowboys, we're still a pretty good team and still doing okay. They picked it up a little bit, and we lost to San Fran, arguably the best team. We beat Kansas City, team that beat us in the Super Bowl. We avenged that loss, and I mean, got their rematch, of course. They're a tough team, bro. We shouldn't really beat ourselves down. I just didn't like the fact that we got blown out by San Fran like that on home turf. And I was like, the defense, I mean, the schemes of the plays, something's got to change. Something with the tactics, I guess, I'm not no football technician or tactician. I understand the game a little bit. I played a little bit for fun and all. And I've watched some guys when they practice. I feel like the team needs to have, bro. I think that we're going to show we are against the next game. And, I mean, we got to come strong. I mean, losing is not an option kind of thing. But at the same time, see, if we lost, bro, and I feel like we did really good, but things just weren't a little bit against us, and I saw a lot of improvement, I'm okay with that. Not that I want to lose, but I'm saying if we actually lost, but we all know that, like, listen, on paper could have won the game. We probably should have won. Mistakes that we're not really in control. But to lose, like, for stuff that, like, we should have really improved, like, 2 months ago, we should be up to par, that's where the frustration and the ranting comes in play, I feel like. A lot of people have said the same thing. Never mind the injuries, the people not being there. I just feel like the win got blown out, and I feel like we should have done a better job for our standards. It's not just talking like on a fan base, it's like a fan, it's more like a person that uses logic and a little bit, on my expertise as a fan, of a guy that watches, a guy that knows the game a little bit. I feel like that just was not good enough. I mean, I'm sorry. Most of the experts say the same thing on Sports Center. People are saying that. People be blasting us. I mean, I heard, and I won't even say on here, but I heard people, again, in the bars, in the club, in the barbershop, just overall, the people saying the Eagles suck ass right now, terrible. A few other not so nice words that I'm going to repeat, but I'm like, let's have a little focus, let's just have a little confidence on them. But, obviously there's a problem, man, and I think it's part of the defense too, you know what I mean? So go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, the Eagles just defensively, I'm just a little worried going into this game coming up against Seattle. DK Metcalf is strong and fast. He's beatable. However, the Eagles haven't played man coverage at all this year, like hardly at all. They've been playing a zone coverage and a soft zone at that. So essentially, when you want to think of zone coverage, it's like a shell. Essentially, the defenders drop back, and it's kind of just like you want to take away the deep pass. However, man coverage, you have an opportunity to get burnt, but you go right up on the man. It's one-on-one. And a lot of times the Eagles just haven't played that. We've played a soft shell zone coverage this year. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's not working. So you have to figure something else out.
It hasn't looked good.
You can't play that all the time. I think that there's elements that positively affect how do I say this? I think that there's some aspects that benefit the zone coverage, and there's other different offensive schemes that actually benefit the man coverage. So they have to figure it out. This is what these guys get paid to do, and it has just become so damn predictable. I'm sorry, it's just so predictable what they're doing offensively too. The play calling has just become they run the ball once or twice, and then they throw the ball all game until like it's just not. It's not good. It's just they have to switch it up.
I think if the Eagles useful, bro, right? It's not very. It isn't effective. Like you just said.
Yeah, I won't say the Eagles are in trouble yet, but here's the thing: if they come out 3 weeks in a row after getting their asses kicked, and they do the same thing again, I really don't know. I think this coaching staff might just be stubborn, and it's just they're relying too much on analytics, and there's going to be a serious problem if they lose this game coming up. Yeah. I don't think they're dead in the water yet. I don't think they're there yet.
No, not yet.
Phone ringing while I'm doing the podcast.
Happens always how it is. It happens every now and then. And don't worry, I get texts and everything. Sometimes people hit me back up because they want to watch the show. But you know.
There's a YouTuber that always says that. He's like, "Damn, everybody freaking call me all the time when I'm doing a YouTube video." I'm like,
that's you. You're the YouTuber now. Dude, it happened to me one time. It happened when I was doing it on the phone, which is ironic, you know.
Yeah. It's actually our boy Nathan.
Somebody just called right now as well, but my phone is on silence.
Yeah. I should probably actually put mine on silent real quick. Because they might keep calling me back.
It could be a good idea.
Doing a podcast, guys. Can't answer.
Can't answer, guys. We're filming. I'm just joking. Hey, real quick, fast. I was watching the scene where they're doing deleted scenes from Rush Hour 2. They call Chris Tucker, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, man? I'm filming." He's like, "No, I'm looking at Jackie Chan. Danny's eye. I'm right here filming." And he's like, "Yo, say something, Jackie." He's like, "Hello, filming. You cut us off, you know?" I was like, that's hilarious. They're doing the filming, and they actually called them off filming. It's funny as hell, and it's an older movie too, you know, kind of a classic. But what do I say, bro? About the Eagles, right? Like I was saying, no, I feel you, bro. I feel like something with the coaching needs to be changed there. Not so much the coach, but some like their kind of like the way they're constructing, like you know, the plays and all that. Not to mention, like you said, we haven't been covering enough, bro. I feel like we weren't pushing enough, and I feel like we got penetrated as far as like the way that like they were, maybe it was like their merit. Like I don't want to take nothing away from San Fran, but I think that like I mean, you know, it just seemed like something was off. Did you see that on a San Fran game? Like we were just too much in the middle. We're playing the sides well, kind of going in and like we just can't catch. I'm not saying they don't got some studs, some motherfucking strong ass, you know, very tough like linebackers there. I mean, these guys are like got strong arms and they can catch the ball. Like they're jumping over the guys. They're doing the little shuffle left, and they're just get basically disengaging from our guys. I'm like, how's it possible? The guy's running through a crazy run, and our guys are like behind. The guys are just next thing you know, it's like he makes a touchdown before he even touch the line, before he even pass the line. He's like, he put his foot in, it's like it's over. I'm like, that's what I feel like the little. And again, I don't want to just throw, bullshit, or spit venom towards our team because, like I said, we're not done in water. We're not done. Yeah, we can still. I want to say even see, go to Super Bowl and win it. It's a long shot right now. We're a little let's focus on this, but I'm saying because the talk was after the game with Kansas City, we're like, oh, we're I believe was it 9-1 or 10-1 or something like that. It was all good. We have a loss, but 9-1, right? Nobody cared. 9-1's a great record. 2 losses to both the good teams. You're like, but I think it's the way we lost. It's not the fact that we lost. It's just the way they blow out against San Fran, open their eyes and expose us a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest. Our defense, we thought we had it control, but stuff got to change. But I got a quick question for you, Steve. And again, because you watch the game, you understand a little bit. I know you probably seen some footage of practice and all that. How do they do as far as like the practice? I know the guys the practice got their team books and all that. Do the coaches ever kind of sit outside? All right, we have something season. Obviously, it's the same the whole season. So every game's a little different. But do they kind of change a lot of things? If like after a loss or two, do they regroup a lot, or they kind of like go with their focus and they just change small things? Like let's put this guy here. This guy's hurt. Let's focus on another player because maybe he's not like he should be on the bench. Like how does that work? Do they ever change the tactics? So like mid-season, to kind of keep him. Like, do you know anything about that, or it kind of depends?
Yeah, I mean, you can always make adjustments, always. But that's the thing,
right.
As a coaching staff want to make it. So maybe they weren't after one loss. They're like, okay, we lost to San Fran, 10 days rest. But now, not only did you lose to San Fran by 20, you lost to Dallas by 20. So this is 2 weeks in a row that this has happened. So now you really have to. I think the coaching staff still should have made adjustments after the San Francisco game. However, I'll give them a pass. Okay, now you lost 2 in a row for the first time since October 2021. Jalen hasn't lost back-to-back games in 2 years. Now he did.
2 years.
Now something has to change. So now this is the punch in the mouth that you need sometimes to change. And I thought San Francisco was going to be a punch in the mouth to change everything. Now they just got smoked by Dallas. This is 2 big punches in the mouth, and things need to change. You can absolutely make adjustments. To your linebacker point in the San Francisco game, just because the linebacker's strong though doesn't mean they're a solid linebacker. Our linebackers are not good. They're not great at all. We did not reinvest in the linebacker position by re-signing TJ Edwards last year. It's a big loss. He's doing well in Chicago. Even though Chicago's not a great team, he's still a really good linebacker. And yeah, we just got Shaq Leonard. We just got Shaq Leonard. However, he's been off 2 back surgeries. He is a 3-time Pro Bowler. See what happens. But Nicholas Morrow and a lot of them guys back there, Christian Ellis, they're just not stud linebackers. It doesn't matter how hard you play. Sometimes you either got the talent or you don't. And unfortunately, the Eagles never really prioritized the linebacker position. And San Francisco knew that, and they exposed the middle with Devo and Kittle and Ayuk, and they knew what they were doing. And Christian McCaffrey could run off the gut. And once he gets to that second level, he can beat the linebacker. 2 big punches in the mouth. They do have time to adjust it. 4 weeks to the playoffs, 5 weeks if you do somehow get the bye, you win out, and San Francisco drops the game. The only game I could see happening is maybe in San Francisco on Christmas Day against the Ravens. Other than that, I don't know. The Eagles are really in jeopardy of not getting the 1, but they right now just got to win the division and hope that Dallas doesn't drop to 5. If they go to the 5th seed, they're really in trouble. All hope is not lost. I think they do have time to turn it around, but this week is going to be the key. This is the critical part.
This is the turning moment right here.
Because they lost 2 in a row now. So they might have just allowed that San Fran loss to be like, okay, we lost 1. But now that you lost 2 in a row for Jalen's first time since October 2021, now you see it. Now here is the flaws. 2 20-plus point losses in a row. It's either do or die. If they don't change it up this week, they're probably not going to change it up. This is just going to be a stubborn coaching staff. You're going to see it this week. Do the Eagles turn things around going into Seattle? If they don't, they're probably going to lose this game. And at that point, I would say, yes, the sky is falling. I'm not there yet. I'm just not there yet. They lost 2 in a row, but I do have faith that this team can get it together. But it starts with this week. If it doesn't start this week, yes, they're in trouble.
I feel you, bro. I agree with that. You know what I mean?
Yes, they said, what's good, Stephen George? 2 losses. 2 losses were bad. Concerned if we lose to Seattle. Yep, I absolutely agree there. And that's what I'm saying. If you lose 3 straight and you still don't adjust, that's a big statement to what this team is and the coaching staff and not making changes. And, if you lose to Seattle, too, you're in trouble. You're in big-time trouble. I just want to see who this is. It's my boy Todd right there. Todd, what is up, brother? Thank you for tuning in, man. I always appreciate you commenting in, man. Yeah, no, if we lose to Seattle, we might just be dead in the water. I'm going to be honest. Hate to say it, and obviously with 3 games left, you could still win out and be 13-4, but it's a terrible look.
I would be like 14-3 if we could, win the next game. Wait, so we have 4 games, right? We have Seattle.
If we're 14-3, it's where our record was last year going into the playoffs. However, the 2 losses were with Gardner Minshew last year towards the end of the season. It's a little bit of a different feel. You just lost.
Different way to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Todd, I'm curious your thoughts on this. So, I think against Dallas, we're going to be fine if we get home field advantage. We win a division. I don't fear Dallas in the playoffs. Dallas just has not proven anything to me since 96. I wasn't even old enough to really comprehend the game of football in 96. Right. Dallas hasn't done anything almost 3 decades in the playoffs. I'm not worried about them in the playoffs. If you got to go to Dallas, it will be very tough because Dallas, like I said, 16 straight at home now, I think. Yeah, if you have to go to Dallas, you'll probably lose. But, they come to Philly. I think we win. San Francisco is another story. San Francisco right now looks like the best team in football, and I think we have time to get it together for sure. But we need home field advantage against San Francisco in the playoffs. If we have to go to Santa Clara, we're in trouble. And as of right now, we need help to get that number 1 seed. We'd have to win out, and then we need to hope San Fran loses. And the only game I could see them losing is against the Ravens on Christmas. Even that game, though, it's in San Francisco. I don't know, though. San Fran is worrisome. That is going to be a tough team to beat. They just look like the most complete team of football right now.
I think they are. To be honest, bro, I could take
Hate
the
to
whole
admit
thing
it.
this year. I feel like they could take the whole thing this year.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Rich comes on, he can talk about it. We were out watching the Cowboys game the other night. And there were Niners fans. There were Niners fans there rooting for Dallas. I was like, I have some friends who are Niners fans here, so if they tune in, they're gonna be. I used to think the Cowboys were the most annoying fan base. I don't know if I don't know if Niners fans might take the cake now. They're right up there with them. Hey, Mario's popping in. What's up, brother? He's a little foggy right now. He's trying to tune in right now.
He's probably.
Yeah, let me take that banner down real quick. On the other side. Mario, what's up, brother? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, my man. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We hear you now.
We hear you. We hear you fine. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, how you guys doing, man?
Pretty good.
Good, man. Good. Thanks for tuning in, bro. Thanks for tuning in. We're just talking about what the Eagles' kind of future looks like the rest of this year. You know, we're saying about potential to win the NFC East still, and then potential to get the 1 seed, but it will be a little tough. We do need help. And we were just commenting in, me, Todd, George, we were saying here that the Eagles, I don't think the sky is technically falling yet, but if they lose to Seattle this week and they don't make any adjustments from the last 2 weeks, I think that this team is dead in the water. They're in trouble.
Yeah, I agree, man. The only good thing is Dallas does have kind of a tough schedule to close it out because they got to go to Buffalo and Miami. But I think just for the morale of our team, if we lose to Seattle, I think it's over.
Yeah, exactly. For the morale of our team, yeah. At the end of the day, I could care less what Dallas does. You know, if we get the 1 seed by Dallas losing to the Bills and then we lose to Seattle, yeah, I think it's a bad look for our team. Especially because San Francisco is going to be coming in the playoffs, and we just need to see some type of adjustment here. I mean, I think it's going to tell you a lot about the coaching staff if they come out playing the same exact way they've played all season. This upcoming Monday, it's going to tell you a lot about this team and how stubborn they are. And if they're not willing to make adjustments in a critical game like this, when are they going to make adjustments? And it just
this is the time.
Yeah, it's the
time to do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
We just haven't been in this position
so far
this season.
My boy John commented and he said, "You know them birds." I think most games we'll lose is last weekend, this weekend. Other than that, the Eagles are a stronger team. Mostly, yeah. But if we lose this weekend, if we lose the last weekend this weekend, that's a big blow. If you lose to the Giants and the Seahawks, that's. Yeah, I think for a team that you have Super Bowl aspirations for, yes, technically you're still in the playoffs and you still could win the division because Dallas, Miami, and Buffalo, and actually Detroit too, but that game's in Dallas.
We have Dallas. We have the Giants. Who else we have? Not the Dolphins, right? We have the Seahawks.
No, we already played the Dolphins and we beat them. We have the Seahawks, Giants, Cardinals, Giants again, and that's it. Giants and Cardinals stink. They stink, but Any team could beat them. I don't see even the Eagles playing their worst football, losing to the Cardinals or the Giants, but the Seahawks are absolutely a question. I just don't know who's going to cover DK, man. I just, if they play zone coverage the whole game, DK is going to cook. He is absolutely going to cook. Birds acting like they aren't predators. They should stop acting like vultures or pigeons and more like the big feared bird they are. That's a good point. It's a good point. They're playing very scared right now.
No, because they're a little it's because like Mary said, the morale, bro. They're a little disoriented a little bit. What's going on? They know it's the guy get your swag back. Once they get this win, if you need, it's like you need a solid win, but you need against a team with what would beat them. Of course, the plan is gonna be like, oh, you beat the Cardinals, beat the Lions, or whatever. I mean, some team they stink, but you beat a good team again, though. You get that swag back, and then all we really need, man, is to do well, not games against the Giants, and then when we gotta play, I'm sorry, not the Giants, the Cardinals. The Giants should be okay. We have 2 games against them, but I mean, in New York, they're
not good though this year. They stink. We should handle them. And the Cardinals aren't a good team either.
It's like a close game, but they're not. They're not for us. They
better not be close
games.
It's
a start for them.
They better spank the Giants.
Yeah, if we lose to the Giants, man, we deserve to lose the division. Seriously.
Absolutely. Dallas smoked them, dude. There's no reason we lose to the Giants. They're the worst
I know,
team.
I know
Giants
they're
is
on a
another
little
year.
bit of a hot streak as of late because they won the last 3 games, but I think we should, especially at home. Like, maybe if we lose that last game, I don't know. Depends on how much we have to play for, considering what happens with Dallas. But bro, if we lose to the
Yeah.
Giants here, man, that's gonna be embarrassing.
Absolutely. You can't lose to the Giants. You can't lose any of these remaining games, man. I think if you want to
Nah, not
be
really.
the big dog, you want to be the big dog of the conference. You want to be the big dog. You got to win all 4 of these. There's no excuses now because here's the thing: you lost the max games I think you can lose. Like which I personally thought they were going to lose to Dallas and to Kansas City in this stretch. They still lost 2 games. They lost, but the Niners game was a blow. But then you thought because they got their ass kicked against the Niners that, okay, they're going to bounce back against Dallas or at least not lose like that. They got smoked against Dallas. 3 fumbles.
The getting
On the
smoked
other
part
side of the
sucks.
field. Can't happen, man. Can't happen. The good thing is I do think this team has time to figure it out. However, it starts with this week. You can't just figure it out after this week. You have to beat Seattle. Like you have to go in there and make a statement. And I don't think it can be as close of a win. I think you have to win by like 7 to 10 points. A win's a win. You still want the W, but man, they need to make a statement.
That look good.
They need to make a statement. We'll see what happens. But he said, Johnson, I want to hear that call, my guy. Go Birds. Got to make the bird call. Cuckoo. Cuckoo. Man, fly Eagles fly. Fly Eagles fly on the road to victory, man. I think they are going to win on Monday. I honestly am not. I'm not scared, man. I'd lie if I didn't say I was a little bit worried, but I think we're going to win, man. I think that they're going to make the changes. I think the players voiced their concerns this week, which is good. They told them the play calling's trash. Something needs to change. There needs to be more creativity. And Mary, I don't know your thoughts on this, but they have not played man coverage hardly at all this year. They need to get out of that stupid soft shell zone that they've been playing all year on the defensive side and decide and have to mix it up. The soft shell zone is horrible, and DK is going to cook if that's what's on the field on Monday.
Yeah, I mean they have to make changes because I actually read that AJ Brown wasn't apparently too happy either with the play calling because he was stating that how Dallas was able to get rid of the football early last Sunday when we played them, and then he said that Dak was able to get rid of the ball early, but we weren't, and he wasn't happy about that as well. So hopefully they were able to hash everything out. But that's the last thing you want, man. Your receiver to question the play call, especially with someone that caliber. But they better make some changes for Seattle. I don't know what the changes will exactly be, but you're right though, man. If they play that soft coverage BS, man, DK Metcalf is gonna walk all over us, dude.
Yep, and Tyler Lockett can cook you too. They got guys that can cook you, man. These receivers are no scrubs. These guys are both Lockett and DK have been around the league. These are guys that can absolutely smoke you. I mean, DK even smoked Dallas. That was a shootout game. He smoked Dallas. He had like 100 and 60 yards running on Dallas. Like he killed them.
Yeah, that was a high offensive game, and they played very well at home too. Seattle plays good. That's another thing too, man. They're going to have the 12th man. I mean, we're going to have to be in there very prepared, dude. And we don't have a good history of playing well up there. Like most of the times, whenever we go up to Seattle, I don't know what it is, but we lose. I'm not sure. Maybe if it's just that noise or just that atmosphere.
Yeah.
But we have our work cut out for us, man. We put ourselves in a really, really bad situation with these last 2 losses, especially the one to San Francisco, because the one with Dallas, at least if you win out, you can still win the division. But the thing is, if San Francisco wins out, you miss out on the 1 seed. So that loss hurts more than the Dallas one.
Absolutely. I'm looking here. I'm trying to see the last time the Eagles beat Seattle. I think it was 2008. Let me see. Seattle beat the Eagles every single year since. Yeah, 2008 is the last time. Wow, that's crazy.
Me and you were still sophomores in high school.
Exactly.
Damn.
Wow, that's crazy. Let me see this here. And the last time.
And we've actually played them a good amount too since then. We've had I think 5 or 6 games against them.
Yeah, and that game was in Seattle too. It was in Seattle, but we haven't beaten them since 2008. In all time, the Seahawks are 8-3 against the Eagles all time since they came into the league in '98. But Wow.
Oh, the Seahawks only established.
Yeah, they're 8-3 against us all time, man. 8-3. We haven't beaten them since 2008.
Yeah,
You know what, though? Things are meant to be broken, though. We haven't beaten the Chiefs since 09, and we beat them. So, I mean, things are meant to be broken.
I think we could beat them.
But this is not a walk in the park game. There's a lot of fans that think it is. It's not at all, dude. Not at all. I actually had this. I had this as a potential L on the schedule, but like the thing is,
I remember when we did that first show right before the season began, when we were going through the schedule and we were picking which teams we were going to win and which teams we were going to lose. I actually had this one as an L as well, dude.
But I did have them beating San Francisco, so that was the difference there. That was the difference. Yeah. We have to win this now.
Unfortunately.
So he says, John said, if they keep losing, they belong in a zoo. Pathetic. Clipped wings over here. I'm going to start calling them the Sparrows or the Philly Pigeons. The Philly Pigeons.
Philly Pigeons.
That's a good one, Todd. I like that.
The Philly Pigeons or the Sparrows, the Philadelphia Sparrows.
Hey, yo, bro, you want to go see the pigeons, bro?
Feed the birds.
Don't feed the birds. Don't feed the birds.
Come on, man. Yeah, I'm sure we can find tickets for cheap, man. I heard the pigeons play on Christmas.
You gotta find the video of George like chasing them on the beach, chasing the birds away. That's the Eagles.
That was Mario.
Yeah, that was the Eagles last week. The Cowboys scaring the freaking Eagles away.
That could have been a meme. That was funny. Actually, Mary's did a video. It's so funny. You brought that up, though. Yeah. Well, we give the Seahawks. We have Seahawks, the Eagles. Come on, we're Eagles. We're stronger than those fucking Seahawks. They want to play us a C because they want to be cheating, you know. They want us in their own element. But we got to blame on the mountains.
I think the Eagles will be back on track if they can go into Seattle and win. Not only win, but win big. If they can win by 2 scores, I think they'll be back on track. You have to go in there and you have to make a statement because Seattle's a tough place to play. You have to go in there and beat them.
That's true, man. I'm looking at a little bit like the roster and all that. I mean, I don't see nobody can really give us like they can give us like a little bit, a little bit around for our money. But I mean, the offensive lineman, defensive. I mean, it's like the Jamon Jones, Jared Reed. Okay, they got Drew Lock and Geno Smith. I mean, I don't know. Like if our defense improves a little bit, we start like
playing this week. That's the question.
I'm not even sure. Is he okay? I mean, because I know there's been like, so again, all teams got apparently these injuries. People get dropped last second. But yeah, the idea right now that we're in the street is that like we probably like the people feel like we're gonna lose to them, but it's gonna be like a good game or something. I feel like we're gonna win, honestly. That's how I look at it. But
yeah, I think
we gotta show up a little different. We just cannot play like we played against Dallas. That is just a no-no.
I think Geno's gonna play. So 2 days ago, it said Geno Smith's status was unclear for the Eagles game. However, as of today, it says he feels really good and he practiced today too. So I think he's gonna play.
I think they're gonna start. They're gonna have DJ Dallas.
Then pushing it back to a Monday night helps them too because it gives them an extra day.
Yeah, because they said his groin injury was like a 2-week injury, but you figure it by Monday night it'll have been 2 weeks. It'll have been. Yeah, actually, tonight's gonna be 2 weeks because he played in Dallas 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so yeah, he's actually officially at the 2-week mark now, so he's had enough time to recover. So I think he plays. Here's the thing: you got to bring the house on him. You got to bring the pressure on him. Make him work. Don't let like that's another thing. And George was actually saying it. They haven't blitzed enough this year at all. They have not blitzed. So they
didn't blitz. I was surprised they didn't really blitz Dak a whole lot last week. I was shocked that they didn't really bring as much pressure as they did. I think they blitzed a little bit in that third quarter, but outside of that, man, I didn't really see too much pressure on Dak, man.
Yeah, they said he was 2-2 when they blitzed last week, which was a little bit better than his outing. I think he was 1-4 the first time we played him. When it came, he was 1-4 against the blitz. They should have blitzed more in that game too. It was 1-4 against the blitz, and then he was 2-2 last week. So like, I don't understand why they're not blitzing more. They blitzed 4 times last week. 4 times.
The
entire game.
Maybe, you know what it is? If I had to take an honest guess, it's probably because they don't trust that secondary. So they want to. I'm thinking maybe they just want to drop as many people as they can back, but now they're realizing that that's probably not going to work. So I do believe that moving forward, they probably will blitz more. But I think that's the key. I think the thing is because the secondary has been so trash, they probably want to put as many men back there as possible. Well, when you have so many guys in the secondary, man, you're not going to be able to blitz a whole lot. You're going to have to rely on those front four. And those front four can only do so much, man.
Yep, and exactly. So how I see it is the soft shell zone has not worked, not blitzing has not worked. So you have to switch it up. You have to try to blitz and you have to try to play some man. And I
Yeah,
think
I'd be shocked if they don't make any adjustments. Like if they go in there with the same defense, with the same scheme as they have the last 2 weeks, I'd be really, really surprised. I'm like, at
yeah,
this point, they want to lose on purpose, man.
yeah, at that point, yeah, it's a wrap. That's what I'm saying. If they go in there and they play that same BS soft coverage, and if the play calling is not a little bit more creative. Now, look, I know Brian Johnson's not a Kyle Shanahan. It just doesn't come to people like that. Kyle Shanahan is an offensive genius. I would say I don't like to say the word genius, but I mean he's a really, really good creative offensive coach. Not everybody has that. But Brian Johnson has to try to do something different. I think they go too much off the analytics. It's so predictable. They run the ball like 2 times, and then they throw it like a million times. Then they go back to the run, and they run like Swift in the first quarter or Gainwell in the second quarter. Like they literally do the same things, and it seems like they're always playing from behind too. The Eagles need to take a lead at the half this week. If they are trailing at halftime, this team deserves to lose the game. You cannot be losing at halftime again. Like, that's frustrating. They have been trailing at halftime. Like, I think since the Dolphins game, they have trailed at halftime. I think every
saying,
bro,
that was the knock. The whole season's been like that. The trailing, even guys. I remember, was it the third game we won? Second game, somebody said like, "Yo, we look good," but I don't know. The defense didn't seem like this. Oh, you know what it was? It's because Jalen Hurts threw. I think he threw like either 2 or 4 interceptions in one game that we won. Might be 2 or 3 or 4, and they're saying the defense looked great. 4. No, it might be like 2. I think it was 2. I'm not gonna say it definitely wasn't 4. But somebody's like, yeah, I don't know, man. Somebody at the club. I seen it at the club. It was I'm not sure if it was the Dolphins, but he threw like 2 interceptions and might have been like.
Yeah, I think
it was the Dolphins, but we won the game.
I think. I think the game that George is referring to. I think that's when they played the Commanders and Washington.
I think so too.
Yeah. Commanders. That's it.
Because remember, like we should have actually blown them out, man. But because of our mistakes, we let them hang around. Luckily, we were able to put them away, man. That's kind of how the season's been, though, man. Our offense was kind of like bailed us out on a few of those games, especially the one against Buffalo. That easily could have been an L had it gone the other way, dude. But that's only going to do so much for you, man. And we really, really got exposed the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. There's a lot of games.
Something's not working. You know what I'm saying, Marius? It's like something like it's almost like they figured out some of our sort of like more trademark plays, especially for this season, last season. It's still kind of the same team, We're still a strong team. Like you said, not signing some players hurt us, but if they figured us out, bro, that means that now it's the time to kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not change necessarily. Like evolve our game, but like make some like improvements. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like you said, like kind of like evolve a little. You know what I mean? Just like
they need to. What they need to do is they need to make adjustments. If they see something that's not working in game, you have to make adjustments and try something completely different.
So in practice, bro.
Exactly.
New plays. I mean,
I'm gonna say this though, like they haven't had a dominant win since the Dolphins. That's crazy. The Commanders game was close. Dallas game the first time was close. Kansas City close. Buffalo close. San Francisco not close, but it went the other way. Dallas game not close, went the other way. So I mean,
the last Dallas game was close too. We almost fucking fumbled. We did fumble, but they had like not a field goal. They got close, and then we actually stopped it. But the time right now, because I forgot who he was. One of our guys giving the ball, and he actually bumped his own friend, and then we were winning. So Dallas came back. So to be honest, bro, we beat Dallas, but because of a silly mistake, we almost lost that game. I'm talking about the one we beat them back in Philly, like which was I believe October. I forgot the date.
Yeah.
But no, you're right, Steve. That is true. And again, I didn't want to hear the rumors. I'll be like, what are you talking about? The defense looks okay, but after like the 4th week, man, I've seen a few. Like, now looking back to it, makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
All along, the defense hasn't been quite like as stellar as we probably would like it. Like Rich did the same thing like a few episodes ago on our podcast. That it's like some things were concerning, and now
Yeah, no, I said I was saying what was I gonna say? It's been a lot of close games, but I was gonna say like this is not the championship caliber team that you want. It's not a team that's gonna be championship caliber if you keep playing this way. And I was saying that Dallas doesn't scare me in the play. I mean, obviously they're worrisome. They look good. But if they have to come to Philly in the playoffs, I don't worry about it. Like I think the Eagles will take care of business. Dallas is actually not really good on the road. If you have to go to Dallas, that's another story. That's going to be extremely hard to win.
Yeah, for some reason they're good at home. Like I don't know. Like,
they're really good at home, but they're not great on the road this year. They all 3 of their losses came on the road this year. All their losses that they had.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
Speaking about the Dallas and the Cowboys, now the rivalry nothing. When is the last time that Dallas actually beat us at home? Was it like 2 years ago, but it didn't count? It was like a game that nobody cared about, or you don't remember? You remember that?
They beat us. They beat us last year in that last game of the season, but we had nothing to play for.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait.
It was right after. Did we lose last year to them? 2022?
We did. No, the game we lost last year was with Gardner Minshew in Dallas. We lost.
No,
Maybe
remember it was wasn't it like the last game of the year? Or it might have been. Well, actually, you know what? It might have been 2 years ago. But I remember like
2021.
Yeah, I
Yeah, we lost
remember
at
like
home,
there
right? It
was
was a
a
home
game
game. We
where
lost to Dallas.
Yeah, I know what game you're talking about, Marius. Yeah, it was the game that we rested our starters because we were playing Tom Brady and them. We couldn't move up. We
Oh,
already
okay. Yeah, my bad. So it wasn't
yeah.
the last year. It was the year. Yeah, it was the year prior to that. Yeah, I remember that we
They
were like
scored
already
50.
in, but Dallas had to win though to get in the wild card. So they came in here and they absolutely like blew us out. But obviously we were playing with our second team. But outside of that, I don't think they beat us last year here though.
No, not here. They because that was the game. Remember when what's his name Cooper Rush played here and we beat him. That was the game that Dak was injured. He
Cooper
played in
Rush.
Philly. We beat Cooper
Yeah,
Rush.
yeah.
And
I
then
remember that.
yeah, and then we played Dallas on Christmas Eve last year with Gardner Minshew, and we almost won, man, but we lost. I think it was 40-34. We lost by 6. We almost won. So they haven't beat us here in like 2 years.
Yeah, we actually haven't won in Dallas, I think, since like 2017 or 2018. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, man. They're a very, very good home team. I'll give them mad props, man. They know how to defend home field, but
They do very good at home.
They have a lot of they lose a good amount on the road, and that's kind of been their Achilles heel.
Yep, they just can't win it when it matters on the road.
Yep.
And that's
like I said, these next 2 games for them are going to be a huge test because they got to go to Buffalo and then they got to go to Miami. Both teams who are fighting for playoff positioning.
Yeah,
especially
I think
Buffalo because they're in the wild card and Miami's trying to different division. So it's going to be
I think they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose to Buffalo this week. I do. I think Buffalo is turning the tide right at the right time, and Buffalo needs this game. I think Buffalo's going to beat them. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think Buffalo wins. I'd be very impressed if Dallas wins in Buffalo. I don't see it though. I don't see it. I think it'll be close. The line is like 2.5 in favor of Buffalo, but that means it's pretty much a pick 'em.
I think they're going to split. I think if they beat Buffalo, they're going to lose to Miami, and if they lose to Buffalo, I think they're going to win in Miami. I don't see them losing 2 straight.
Yeah, no. I don't either. I think you're correct there. That would be typical Dallas Cowboys if they lose 2 straight. I don't see that happening though.
Because if they lose 2 straight, even if we lose to Seattle, it's a wrap. We're going to win the division.
Yeah. And then they got the Lions, but they're lucky with the Lions game, and they play at home, so they'll probably win that game. I don't think the Lions are.
I don't think they're struggling to beat Dallas, but if they do, it'll be a miracle.
It still might be a challenging game, though. I mean, it's a team over 500, so they do have to play a team at home. It could be a challenging game. I said though in the playoffs, if Dallas has to come here, I don't fear them. Dallas does Dallas things. The San Francisco 49ers, though, they look like the most complete team in football. And honestly, right now, if the Eagles had to play them in the playoffs, I think they win. However, it doesn't mean that things can't happen between now and then, and the Eagles can get it together and we figure it out. And you never know. Also, injuries happen. I don't like to ever, bank on injuries, but anything could happen. As of right now, obviously, it looks like the Niners are the best team in football, AFC and NFC. They're the most complete.
I agree. I would have, if I had to pick somebody to win the Super Bowl today, San Francisco would be my first pick, followed by Baltimore.
Yeah. Did you see what the line was against the Cardinals? They're 12.5-point favorites in Arizona. I know Arizona's not a great team, man, but it's a division game. So essentially, you give 3 to the home team. So you give that right back to Seattle. So essentially, they're 15.5-point favorites. That's a huge line, man. Going into freaking. I know Arizona's not a good team, man, but still, man, the Niners are just blowing teams out like left and right, man. I give them the props, but I think the Eagles will get it together, man. If the Niners have to come back here, that's the thing. Where are we playing? Are we playing in Santa Clara, which as of now it looks like that's where it will be unless the Niners lose a game. If they got to come to Philly, I don't see the Niners coming in here twice and beating us in a season. I don't. I think that the Eagles will find a way to get it together. There's a lot of factors that go into it. How are the Eagles playing at the end of the year? Where are we playing if we do have to play San Francisco? A lot. These 4 weeks are critical, man. I'm hoping for an early a Christmas present. Seeing the Niners losing to the Ravens, but we have to handle our business too, and we play on Christmas too.
Yep. Yeah, that game against Baltimore will be big. If San Francisco wins that game, they're probably most likely going to end up with the 1 seed.
Yeah,
I don't see them losing to any other teams in their schedule because I think they got to play the Rams, they got to play the Cardinals, they got to play the Ravens, and I forgot who the other team is.
I think they have to either play the Cardinals or the Rams twice, kind of like we play the Giants. I forget which one.
I don't see them. Outside of Baltimore, I don't see them losing especially if they have a lot to play for. Like if they know that they can lock up that 1 seed, man, with the exception of Baltimore, man, I don't see them losing to the other 2 spots.
Yeah, no, I don't either. Let me just double check what one more. I always say this, people don't ever want to hear it though.
What's that?
Let's see.
Yeah, well, I mean, apparently, we have some injuries. Apparently, I was looking at something
Let's
here.
see.
Eagles injury report: 3 practice. Okay, so the 3 of them got hurt in practice.
Yeah. Let's see.
A couple of guys here.
So Lamar Jackson in his career is 19-1 against NFC opponents. 19-1.
Wow.
Yeah, he's 19-1. He's played San Francisco before and he beat them. The only team he's lost to, ironically, was the Giants, and that was in. When did he lose? He lost actually last year in 2022. It was against the Giants, and yeah, it's crazy. And he threw 3 picks, I think. Yeah, so no team's really going to win when you're throwing 3 interceptions. That's crazy. 19-1.
19-1. Can you imagine what they could do if they were actually playing in the NFC, man?
Yeah, to you Niners fans.
Every year.
Yeah, I know not all Niners fans are like this, but we were talking to some Niners fans down at Xfinity when the Eagles were playing the Niners, and these Niners fans were down there trying to say that they steamroll Lamar Jackson every time they play him. Number one, he's an AFC opponent, so how often do you really play him? Number two, they've only played Lamar Jackson once, and it was like in 2019. And the Lamar Jackson and the Ravens beat him. And he said, no, that's not true. We steamrolled them. I'm like, well, you can say whatever you want emotionally and how you feel, but at the end of the day, the stats are the stats. He's 19-1. I don't ever like to live in the past. San Francisco, if anybody can beat them, it is San Francisco. They're playing in Santa Clara. They're playing at home. That's going to be a very tough outing for the Ravens. Now, if the Ravens were home, I think the Ravens win pretty handily. But it's in San Francisco. I'm just saying, though, that's a crazy statistic. Out of 20 games, he's 19-1. I mean,
yeah, I mean that's got to be the best. I don't know any other quarterback that has that kind of record against NFC opponents.
No. Even that Giants game was close. Went right down to the wire. So it's a stats. It's something, and the Ravens are playing really good football, man. They're squeaking out some games close, but I mean they're playing good football. And they're fighting for something too. That's the thing. They're fighting for that number 1 seed right now. So it's going to be 2 teams trying to fight for a number 1 seed, and a lot of people think that's going to be the Super Bowl this year, especially with the colors, the purple and red. So what is it? The promo for the Super Bowl is purple and red right now. San Fran and Baltimore, a rematch.
Yep, just like how it was last year and the year before that, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was 10 years ago too. So it was like right on the 10-year anniversary. They're trying to have that. Yeah, last year it was the Eagles. It was red and green, bluish green for the Eagles and Chiefs, and then 2 years ago it was orange and yellow, which was Rams and Bengals. I don't know, but anything before that was not true color-wise. So we'll see. I don't know if it's going to hold up. Anything could happen, man. I think the Niners' biggest Achilles heel is their injury history. They have to stay healthy. If any of their key players get injured, they're done.
Especially McCaffrey. If he's out, man, I think it's a wrap.
I mean, you saw when just Debo was out, they couldn't win. Like they lost all 3 of those games when Debo or Trent Williams was out. Like if they lose one of their key pieces, they're like a well-oiled machine. They are the nastiest, biggest, most efficient machine in football right now. But if they lose one of those cogs, you see what happens. If they lose McCaffrey, they're done. They're done. It's not even close. Like if they lost McCaffrey during the season, I'll be honest, depending on who they play, they might just be a first-round exit. Like he's the most critical piece to that offense, because if you lose Christian McCaffrey, you're a one-dimensional offense. At that point, they can just bring the house on Purdy. So they'll just put him in high-pressure situations, and it's a wrap. With the way McCaffrey runs the football, you'd actually probably rather lose Debo than McCaffrey. You don't want to lose McCaffrey at all.
No, because he opens up the passing too. Because if they're running and going on, man, they can do that. They can do the play option, the play option, and they go from there. Or I'm sorry, not the play. That I can't even speak. They can do the play action, and then that will open up for the rest of the receivers. See, if McCaffrey was not there, and they can't get that run game going, that's going to put a lot of pressure on Brock Purdy, and then that's going to trickle down to everybody else. And you might, if you catch them on a good day, man, you could beat them.
Yeah, them losing McCaffrey is like the same as like us losing like AJ Brown or like Devontae Smith. Like you're in trouble if that happens. So like I think them if they lose McCaffrey, it's just as bad as them losing Brock Purdy. It's essentially a wrap. I don't wish injuries on anybody, man. I kind of just want to play teams at full strength, but you just never know what could happen. Maybe it's just the Niners' year to like I don't know. Like but the thing is, like Kyle Shanahan has never won anything. People tend to forget about this. I know Nick Sirianni is a new coach, but what has Kyle Shanahan won? All those years he had chances. He's been in the Super Bowl twice. One as the head coach of the Niners, and he was an offensive coordinator with the Falcons, and he led the biggest choke job in NFL history by not running the football against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. George remembers that Super Bowl 28-3 when the Patriots came back and beat the Falcons. He was the offensive coordinator. And ironically, who was their head coach? The defensive coordinator. Who was the head coach?
The head coach was Dan Quinn.
Yeah, who ironically is the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. So I mean that doesn't really that part doesn't really translate because Dan Quinn's actually a fantastic defensive coordinator. He was great with Seattle too. He just wasn't a great head coach. He did get them to the Super Bowl, but they choked when it mattered. But he wasn't a fantastic.
Bad. Atlanta choked a year. I mean, they were like kind of doing well, and it's like they started okay, and then by the second quarter it was like clearly the Patriots were going to win that one. There was the year before we won it. It was 2017, and then we won in 2018. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I mean, like it really. But Kyle Shanahan definitely had a big part of why they lost. In the Super Bowl with the Falcons. So he was the offensive coordinator, but he played a big role. He also lost to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. He's been to the NFC title game 2 years, choked both of them. Like, it's just, like, I don't know. Like, we'll see. He still has stuff to prove, though. I don't care how good he is. He has a lot to prove.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he wins the Super Bowl this year, he's definitely going to shut all the doubters up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, if he wins it. Yeah, no, it's a results league. So you win the Super Bowl, it shuts everything up. Like, finally. They used to say Stafford could never get a ring, and he went to the Rams and he got one. So it shuts people up for sure. But he still has to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is his best chance, man. He's got the team firing on all cylinders. So if they're going to win it, man, this year will be the year to do it.
Absolutely. Because if they don't do it this year, I'll be honest, they do have those players under contract for a long time, a lot of those players, when I was looking at the cap. However, if they don't win it this year, man, that's debilitating. If they're fully healthy and they don't win it, that's debilitating. They might shake shit up.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they do, especially if they're fully healthy. Because you never know, man. I mean, you never know how healthy you're going to be moving forward, even though you got all those guys in the contract. I mean, somebody can tear their ACL in week 1, and boom, your season can end in a heartbeat.
Who's their owner or their is their owner or GM? Is that John Elway? I mean, not John Elway. What am I saying? Elway. Lynch, right? John Lynch.
John Lynch is their general manager. Yeah, he was the one who orchestrated the trade for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, man. Him and Howie Roseman have been like, in my opinion, him and Howie Roseman have been like the general managers of the year, like the last.
Yeah, the executive of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like head to head, man. Because Howie pulled off that trade to get AJ Brown. Lynch pulled off that trade to get Christian McCaffrey, man. So 2 huge trades, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, executives of the year for sure. They did that. That McCaffrey one was nuts. AJ Brown was though too. But Can you imagine?
Yeah, look how amazing those teams are.
Exactly. Can you imagine if the Eagles had a McCaffrey, man?
We'd be instant Super Bowl favorites and not even close. Man.
Yeah, that offense would be the nastiest offense.
It'd be a wrap. We probably would never have to punt in the game.
Every single drive would be a score. That would just be nasty.
Have your poison. Do you want to get beat by the run or do you want to get beat by the pass?
Yeah, even with a terrible scheme, you'd probably still win. The talent would just outbeat the scheme. Because you'd just be so damn talented.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do, man. Monday night should be interesting, man. Monday Night Football. The good thing is we get to sit back and relax and watch Dallas and San Francisco play on Sunday. I mean, San Francisco, I don't think it's going to be much to watch, I'll be honest. You're going to play the Cardinals. They're probably I retract that. San Francisco, whatever. They're not. I 100% do not see them losing to Arizona. Dallas, though, that's going to be a good game to watch. 4:00 game against the Bills. It's going to be a good game to watch. obviously we're going to be rooting for them to lose. And then we get to handle our business after, which is nice. We get to handle our business after. We get to see what Dallas does and then handle our business on Monday night.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one, man. I mean, Monday Night Football.
Yeah,
We're back on Monday night.
Yeah, it looks like Dallas plays Buffalo at 4:25 on Sunday, so I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
Yep. Hopefully Buffalo can win that one. They almost beat us, man.
Win.
And they're playing well.
Win. Yeah. Definitely
And then we have to handle our business. Two birds going at it on Monday Night Football. Two pigeons. That's what I'm going to call them from now on until they start winning.
Oh, there we go. The
Philadelphia
Pigeons. Darius Slay, he's injured. The
Pigeons. Slay's injured.
Yeah, he's injured. This is 3 injured right here, guys. So this is the Philadelphia Eagles injury report for Thursday today. Zach Cunningham, he already missed the game, but he's like 50-50. He wasn't in practice. Cam Jorgens, pectoral, and then Darius Slay, he's got a knee, like some kind of knee problem. But it's also you have to realize that some players were not in pads, but they kind of had a light practice apparently according to the report. And Sirianni I was just watching something right now that apparently always giving speeches about we did change this and like the philosophy of the team and all that. Basically, in other words, small technical things. And he said, well, if we don't got one guy, we have another guy. Well, unfortunately, it seems like, we have to bring guys, from, like guys that don't often play. Because he says, like right here, that if we're, if the one guy, if we don't got the game, okay. Okay, yeah, there we go. So we're down to Nicholas Marrow and Shaq Leonard, which is not a bad player, though. And then, of course, we have Van Summer.
Nicholas Marrow is not a good player.
That's what we got right now.
Give me 1 second. I want to see what the injury report is because I don't know about all that. Let's see.
Yeah. No, I'm just looking at the reports. I mean, it looks like Zach might not play, but Cunningham.
Let's see. Who was on the injury report? I mean, it doesn't mean they're not going to play. They just didn't practice today, so they didn't participate in practice.
Yeah, they didn't practice. Yeah. That's what I mean. Doesn't mean they're really out the season because Cunningham. He says it depends. He's pending. It doesn't mean he's not going to play. But if he doesn't play, we have those other guys. But like I said, nothing to be concerned about, really, man, because all teams have injuries anyway. But I was looking at the report. I'm like, just the 3 guys, and this is just like a couple hours ago, so it's probably like one of those 3 names.
Yeah, you guys got to understand they have an extra day of rest too because of the Seattle games on Monday night. So I think they'll all play. To be honest, they're not. They were just limited participant was Reed Blankenship, Darius Slay, Cam Jurgens, and Zach Cunningham were all do not participate today. But I mean, you got to understand, they're playing a day later. So I think they'll all play. This is a big game. They have to. If they have an opportunity to play, nothing to hand them out. They
will play out. Right. I don't see him resting a lot of the main guys because he needs the starters. I mean, obviously, you
can't rest anybody. It's the only way they stay out is if they're injured. You can't rest anybody.
It's gonna be an injury where Sirianni feels like if he gets injured again, am I losing a playoff? We need somebody. But it's a crucial game that really can't have too many guys resting and not playing. I mean, unless they're really injured. Like if an injury they can kind of keep up with, I could see him. Some guys, possibly getting out. Between a game. And we don't, like I said, knock on wood, when nobody get injured, man. It just sucks any player to get injured, especially if we need them for so big games. So obviously we'll see what the game presents, but.
Yeah, we'll wrap this up. We'll wrap this up shortly. I wanted to get Marius's. I guess Rich isn't popping on tonight, but I wanted to get Marius's thoughts on this. So earlier, there were some people that were saying, some Eagles insiders were saying that the Eagles don't want to show their full hand before the playoffs. That's why the scheme doesn't look that great. Do you actually buy that or no? I don't know if I buy that type of mentality.
No, I don't buy that because we have. If that's really the case, I mean, I can buy that if we were winning. But the fact that we lost, and not just that we lost, but the way that we've lost, you can only hold out on a scheme too long. I mean, what's the point of holding out on it if you lose the division and you have to go on the road as a wild card team?
Exactly.
That makes absolutely no sense. You have to do everything you can to win the games necessary to give you the best chance to succeed in the playoffs and hopefully win a Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Now, I can understand maybe if you're designing a specific playbook, if you make it to the Super Bowl, similar to how Jim Johnson had it when they played the Patriots back in 2004. But the holdout for no apparent reason, that to me just makes absolutely no sense. I mean, you're at that point, you deserve to lose. You absolutely deserve to lose.
Exactly. I could see it if it was against San Fran. You're like, okay, you're still number one in the division. But then if they would have went out and whooped Dallas, like, okay, maybe they are. But because they just lost 2 back-to-back big games, now you have to have help to win the number 1 seed. So at this point, it's not a control your own destiny type of thing. So now that's why I don't buy it either.
Nah, yeah, that's nah.
Not a way to.
They can miss me with that one.
Yeah, I don't buy it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just need to get it together. Like AJ, they said you could see Jalen shaking his head on the sideline like last week. Like
Something's not right. Like he was frustrated. I seen that too.
Yeah,
they're
pissed at the play call, man. Somebody called them out too in the locker room. Like, what's good?
Call who out?
The coaching staff.
Oh, the coaching staff. Yeah.
Sirianni needs to be called out though too. Like, that's the thing. Like, I get it. Brian Johnson is on the side. You have to call Sirianni out though too, man. Like, none of that coaching staff is held without blame. And I know that they're not the ones on the field fumbling the football last week too, so they all need to be called the hell out too. But like, they all need to be accountable, man.
No, I agree, man. But those fumbles are getting really ridiculous, man, because it seems like they're kind of fumbling every game now, man.
Yeah, they got to hold on to the football.
They got to watch out for that, bro, because it's eventually going to come back to bite them in the ass when it really matters.
Yeah, why doesn't our defense do that? The punch outs. Like, I only saw Jalen Carter do it once this year. We punched out the football. It's like, dude, they need to do more of that. Like, to see Dan Quinn in that defense, they teach them to punch the ball. Like they don't do that here. It's soft, man. Very soft. Like, this team doesn't play hard. Like, the Niners came in with more aggression, and they smacked us, dude. Like, they didn't play with any type of fight. Like, you knew that they were going to come in here. You knew they had that game circled on the calendar. You came in with that type of fight. And you're like, okay, well, they'll bounce back against Dallas. And then you get punched in the mouth. Here's the thing. They absolutely could have beat Dallas. They beat themselves in the Dallas game. You know, 3 fumbles. You're going to lose the football game. They beat themselves in that Dallas game. Yeah, I'll say the defense.
The last fumble sucked, by the way.
Yeah, the defense couldn't stop them. But, dude, that's 3 fumbles. That's 21 points. At that point, say you score a touchdown on every single one of those drives. What's the score? 34-33. You know, you're right in that game. That's 21 points. We had 13. You know, you add 21 to it. That's a down to the wire game, just like that first game. You fumble the ball 3 times, you're in trouble. The Niners game, they just got smoked. They got their ass kicked. Every single facet of the game, they got their ass beat. That game, they just had no chance. I mean, maybe the Eagles would have had a chance if they scored 2 touchdowns on the first 2 drives instead of field goals. They went up 14-0 instead of 6-0. You might win that game. But that's the thing. What have we said? The Eagles' slow starts, we're going to catch up with them. And guess what they have? They've caught up with them. That's why I don't think you can go down at halftime in the Seahawks game. You have to be winning. I don't care if you're winning by 3. I don't care if you're winning by 7. You have to be winning.
Yeah, well, I don't really care how much they win by. I just want to see that W, man.
Yeah, they have to start.
W, get some momentum back on your side, and then, close out the season, winning the last 3 remaining games. Hopefully the Niners can, blow one and we get that number 1 seed, and I think we'll be back in here.
Yeah, they're due for a loss at some point, man. They haven't lost a game in 5-6 weeks. So, I mean, they're due, but we'll see. I mean, they went into the playoffs on a 9-game winning streak last year, so.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if they beat Baltimore, they're getting that 1.
Yeah. I don't see them unless they beat Baltimore and they start celebrating like, oh, we got the 1 seed or something, and they freaking up and they slip one up, which I don't see happening, but yeah, because then they'll have 2 weeks left after that. You never know. Can you imagine they play Baltimore next week, dude, and they slip up against Arizona? I do not see that happening, but dude, it is in Arizona. What if something? And that'd be crazy if Arizona has beaten not only the Cowboys but the 49ers.
Yeah, they beat the Steelers last week, man. So I mean, the Cardinals, you never know, man. If you overlook them, man, they could surprise you.
Yeah, I just don't see the Niners being that type of team. But dude, if they do, it's crazy. It is a division game. The line says otherwise, but yeah, that's insane to me. If they do that, I mean, the only good thing for the Eagles is we play them at home. Yes,
I'll take it. I definitely don't want to play Arizona in Arizona because you never know.
Yeah, it's towards the end of the season too. You know what I mean? That's just a game that you could lose.
Exactly. And not only that, man. That their head coach is going to try to play spoiler, man.
Yeah, because it's Jonathan Gannon too.
Exactly. He's like, all right, let me screw over my former employers.
Yeah, let me pull out my game of the year here. He did us a
Yeah,
favor, though. I'll say he beat Dallas.
I still haven't forgiven him for last year's Super Bowl, man. Just let you know.
It's horrible, dude. Horrible.
Yeah. As much as of a bad call that was at the end with a holding, man, I still think we lost because of the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of the Super Bowl, man, we had a bad call against us, man, and Patrick Mahomes apparently thought that he didn't have a bad call against him. Crybaby.
Yeah, he's like, oh, well, I
Mahomes
expected the officials to give me a warning. I'm like, dude, there's no guarantee that you're going to get a warning, man. I'm like, the guy had his foot over the line, man. That's a clear offside. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't work that way, man.
Yeah, Carl Sheffer said that, and he's a veteran official. He said we're not obligated to give you a warning. At the end of the day, the player is responsible for their own, for checking in with the referee and official to make sure that they're lined up on sides. At the end of the day, they can give you a warning, but they are not obligated to give you a warning.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the same thing with the legal formation. Like, I know at times, like, they might tell you, like, you're in a legal formation, you got to change it. But sometimes they don't warn you, man. It is what it is. This is how the game is played. I mean, that's why it's the responsibility of the head coach and the responsibility of the players to know what they're doing, man, to make sure that they're lined up correctly. It's not the job of the officials to let you know, okay, you're not like that's not their job. That's your job.
Yeah, and I heard there was a pick play downfield too, which allowed Kelsey to get open too, which they didn't call. So there you go, eye for an eye. A lot of people were saying that I didn't get to see the rest of the play, but apparently there was a pick play downfield that allowed Kelsey to get open. So like with the whole thing from to throw it back to Gary whatever his name is, Tony, Kadarius Tony. He threw it back to him, but apparently he got so wide open because there was a pick play downfield. So there you go. I mean, at the end of the day, man, y'all lost the game, like plain and simple. Like crying about it. It just goes to show it's very spoiled syndrome now because like he's like the golden boy. So he's used to getting those types of warnings and stuff. And guess what? When he didn't get one, he didn't like it.
Yeah, well, that's just how it goes. Sometimes you got to deal with it and move on.
They're missing Tyreek Hill, man.
Yeah,
they won the Super Bowl without him last year.
They did, but last year their receiving core was much better than this year, man. I mean, them losing Juju Smith-Schuster was huge, dude. It really, really shows.
Yeah, and their defense is better this year, though. They're just dropping passes, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, look at us, man, when we played them, bro. I mean, the guy had a wide-open touchdown, man. And, it went right through his hands, dude. I genuinely couldn't believe when I saw that. I was like, our guy was nowhere in sight. It was right up there for the fake, and then he just dropped it. I was like, dude. I think that drop right there just kind of took the air out of Arrowhead, man. I think they knew they were going to lose after he dropped that pass.
Yeah, it was over. Marquise Valdez-Scantling, man. They haven't been good since they lost to us, dude. They've been losing games. They lost 2 games since.
Let me see. No, they beat the Raiders in between. Yeah, they beat the Raiders.
But yeah. They've lost 2 games though.
They beat the Raiders, and then they lost to the Packers, and then lost to the Bills.
That's what I'm saying, man. We've lost 2 games, and guess what? They've lost 2 games since our loss.
Yeah.
When you think about it. Exactly. We beat the Bills, but lost to the Niners and the Cowboys. This week's going to be a big one, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, boys. I don't know. Like I still have faith in my team. I do. I think that the Eagles can turn it around. I think that they can be Super Bowl contenders and they can get back. However, this week is going to be very telling. My opinion may change right after this week. If they play the same scheme, it's going to be different. But they have an opportunity to turn things around, especially after 2 back-to-back losses. I think maybe they thought after the Niners loss, okay, like let's just get the win here. But now you get 2 back-to-back losses and you haven't changed anything. Since first time since 2021, that's an eye opener. They need to change things. If they don't change things now, I don't think they're going to change things at all.
True. This is the time.
So we should.
We're gonna see.
Go forward.
Exactly. We're gonna see. I guess we can wrap it up here, guys. We're a little over the hour mark. I guess Rich couldn't make it on tonight, but that's okay. I want to thank Mario for coming on, man. Thank you for joining us tonight, bro.
Yeah.
Anytime, brother. My pleasure.
Thanks, Mario.
Yeah, no problem at all, guys.
Good work,
And then I want to thank Corey Bridges and Candace Scott for coming on 2 weeks ago. We had our meeting last week, so we plus a guest rescheduling. So we decided not to have an episode last week, but 2 weeks ago we had Corey Bridges and Candace Scott that came on to talk about mental health, depression, anxiety, seasonal depression. So I appreciate them too for coming on, guys. Check that one out. Episode 152. And we'll see what happens with the Eagles. We got a really good guest coming on the next 2 weeks. I'll leave it up to the promo to promote those two, but we have 2 different guests coming on in the next 2 weeks to close out the year. So it should be big. And then we'll actually be at the 3-year official mark of episodes because even though we're past the 3-year mark since we started the podcast, 156 will be 52, 52, 52. It'll be 3 years of episodes. So that'll be to start the new year. So that should be really good, guys. We'll probably have like a little celebration on here.
Congratulations, man. 3 years. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, man. We'll get through it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, I just realized one thing, Steve. 156, like you said, will be the actual episode. That's actually the first of 2024. I just realized that.
Yeah, it'll be 3 years because even though we started in September, we had a lot of times where we had hiatuses and stuff.
Hiatuses, yeah. And of course, we missed last week as well. We had a couple of days we pulled the plug and all, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting, bro.
Well, that being said, guys, if you guys want to hang on at the end out here, I'm just going to end it in a second. But guys, for everybody out there, go Birds. I also want to say happy holidays to you and yours, your family and everything like that. We'll have one more episode before Christmas. But if you're celebrating Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate out there, happy holidays to you and your family. Yep. Try to make a difference. Do something in the world. Enjoy your time with your family. Try to make a difference and help out in any way you can. Volunteer, do what you can do to give back, and just enjoy your time with your families. Go Birds! Happy holidays! We'll see you next week. I think you guys are really gonna like the episode next week. I'm excited for it. It's gonna be super dope. So,
for sure.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week for episode 154. If you guys want to hang on in the backstage here, I'll end this stream here. But everybody else, have a good night, good weekend.